So, as I was watching this episode, I feel like it was a pretty well episode. Um, Certainly the ending makes me think that this was all a trap. That there was a traitor in the group, but I'll explain about that later. For now, I just want to go over all the things that interested me. So in the beginning, we see this man in the cloak holding a red potion, and he's standing above the spider's nest. And what I'm thinking is that he used that potion as kind of a way to help the spiders evolve. Because if you remember, when the group explored um, the sixth floor, they found out that the spiders pretty much evolved by themselves. So I'm thinking in a way that potion might have helped them evolve to all these different kinds of spiders. The second one was while they were kind of exploring, Fran let Amanda teach her the basics of how to use magics, and all the basics of the power scaling, what are complex magic, and all those things concerning magic skill, and all those things and techniques. So Fran had Amanda teach her all these things. And one thing I do want to mention was while they were eating, Fran was not talking out loud, but her actions were as if she was talking to the sword. And one of the elves noticed that, and I don't know, he just looked at Fran like suspiciously, like maybe it's because of what she did, but I feel like there's a deeper meaning to this. Maybe, as I mentioned, he was the actual traitor who gave the red elixir to the guy. And Amanda also mentions that I know one adventurer that pretty much uses dark magic, like the only adventurer, and we see like a kind of a glimpse of his character design. We don't see his face, but we see his overall build and how he looks like. And I think that person is a reincarnation, like the sword, but this time the person was reincarnated in an actual human body. And just because she said, his personality is odd and he may be, a bit eccentric. So that's why I believe it's a reincarnated person. And my second thought on that is that his also, the first, not the first, but he's also a pretty high adventure, maybe B or C, but pretty high up there with Amanda herself. But I just wanted to mention that I thought, I just found that pretty interesting about the elves and everything. But then we go to the last one where, as they're retreating, Fran and all the other group, as they're retreating, two of the guys accidentally bumped into Fran and tripped her and kind of set off a trap that all three of them would get teleported somewhere. I'm guessing a room with the pretty much the queen spider. But they don't know how exactly. Amanda did mention a dungeon master could do it, but since there's no dungeon master, maybe it was the final evolution of this spider, the trickster spider, that set up the teleportation to a place that wasn't mapped on the dungeon map that was given to them by the Adventure Guild, and also set up a weapons disarm spell on it. So pretty much it was just Fran and the guys that were teleported. All the weapons, the swords, the pretty much all the equipment they had was left because of that weapons disarm. Now this obviously uh makes the sword weird because they're apart and they're more stronger when they're together and all that. But I feel like throughout this anime show, if you've also seen it, you've seen that Fran heavily relies on the sword, and you even hear her say, when she finds out that she was teleported without the sword, she said, "Oh, I can't use my skills or magic without the sword here." So I feel like, in a way, this is a kind of a test for her that she has to pass, and that test is, what can you do without the sword? Like, there will be situations that maybe people will know her weakness, and they just have to take away the sword, and then she's a regular person pretty much. And I feel like in order for her to pass this test, she has to make her own magic and her own skills. Even after she loses the sword, she can still fight a bit. So I feel like she has to overcome that. But overall, pretty good episode, I'd say. It was a good watch, and I really enjoyed it and everything. I thought it was awesome. But yeah, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment your thoughts and opinions. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.